Dun, 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 dun.
All right. Welcome back, y'all. There's you're back with the Packer, and of course you're
Chief Blitzfreak. Whoop, 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 whoop.
and today we're packing old Billy Gates in the peace pipe in the old bowl. He's going down. We're gonna light him up and roast him real good. We're checking out conspiracy theories surrounding him. The anti-vaxxers have been about it, and they think he might be responsible for coronavirus. Who knows? We might also chuck in one or two other conspiracy theories that have just been floating around on the net as well lately. You never know. We'll see where the day takes us.
Man, Bill Gates. I don't know. It's weird that people are saying all the things about Corona. Like I hadn't heard this.
I know, right?
At first, it's weird.
They're building him up like such a, I don't know, like super villain sort of thing, but he's like fucking the Milky Bar kid, you know? He looks so innocent.
I know. Doesn't he spend like majority of his money on philanthropy? And
Yeah. Oh, and
helping
donations and shit, and his charity. No, totally evil, man.
Over the years, every time I've heard of him donate somewhere, I've always heard some sort of story, like about how he's doing something dodgy, but no one's ever really caught him doing anything wrong.
Oh, well, that's because it's all stories and shit, basically. Or is it?
Well, I mean, you could argue that he's doing what he was the richest person in the world for a long time. I think now the Amazon owner is I think he's now the richest.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if you were the richest, you think even poor people think this. You go, if I could change the world, if there were things I could do. So, I mean, it's not a conspiracy to say he wants to help certain countries in certain ways, and he wants to help certain people more than other people.
You can't be everywhere.
You can't be everywhere, so he is the one choosing. And obviously there are arguments on political views and things like that, and he's going to have his own side. And I guess that annoys people when someone who's so rich can really get their point of view across.
Yeah, well, he can, and sometimes he can be heard a lot, but they still can ignore him, though. That's the problem. And that's kind of like how this all conspiracy started. Was old Billy about 10 years ago was going on about how we've had bird flu, swine flu, Ebola. The world's getting worse and worse with these pandemics, and we're not preparing for them. He said something around this time would hit, and it would be on a massive scale. And so everyone's kind of like citing that and being like, look, he made a prediction, and he made it come true.
True.
It's like, what the fuck? But yeah, there's a bunch of people like citing that like he had like the patent on coronavirus and stuff, but that's complete other bullshit though. Coronavirus is not an artificial virus by anything, and the patent that they cite just does not belong to him whatsoever.
Yeah, I don't really follow a lot of things he says, but I would have thought, being like he's a software developer and like founder of IBM and stuff.
Yeah.
I would assume if people were going to make up stories about him, that they'd be how he's going to try to take over the world using robots and stuff. But he's probably the most influential, or well, richest person in the sense that then he can influence the future. He's the most outspoken person I've seen with power, who is totally against automation of companies. He says, what's the point in making robots run things and work and seal cans for you and do all this if there's no jobs for the people? And how is that a better world? And I would have honestly thought that he would have been the sort of person pushing towards more technology, but he seems to believe in, yes, let's advance our technology, but then someone has to be responsible enough to go, you can't shut down your car manufacturing plant, or not shut the plant down, but you can't fire 100 workers because you've realized how cost effective it is to build 5 robots, which are just machines working like wherever they do. I believe that's what Amazon's done.
Well, yeah, they're a bit like that. But I don't know. In a kind of an ideal world, I would have more of like the labor task and more like the menial jobs be done fully by robots. But I'd also, my world's a bit communistic and everyone would be able to pursue their passion, and the leaders of the world would just distribute wealth, and everyone would get good money, but would be have all the free time and be able to do whatever you want. Pursue your passions.
So the money would have to come somewhere. Well, then that worries me even more, because if Bill Gates doesn't want us to all lose our jobs, he must know that there is no way for us to all get free money. Someone's got to be paid.
Also, in the future, I don't know. Maybe we could all get over the idea of money and just be okay with everyone just giving each other everything that everyone needs.
See, I'm surprised Bill Gates hasn't pushed towards something like that with his philanthropy.
Yeah, well, yeah, maybe that's the way Billy will go. If you need something, Billy just gets it 3D printed for you.
Yeah, and so why are they saying that he bought the patent or he created Corona?
Oh, okay.
How is this possibly going to benefit
well,
Bill Gates, ex-CEO of IBM?
They do say it's like to make him one for like that prediction to come true, but it's also sparked off a fucking so this gets you how stupid the fucking new fucking flavor of the month is for the anti-vaxxers and their fucking love of conspiracies. It sparked off a fucking Reddit board. I think it was like Bill Gates doing an Ask Me Anything, and I think someone asked him like, how do we get past coronavirus and shit? And he was kind of like, oh, we'll have to obviously find a cure and shit, have people tested and whatnot, and then like have a way of, in like the workplace and for, like on your resumes and shit to be like, an official way to be like, yes, I have had the official coronavirus vaccine. I can't get it anymore. And then you also have people that haven't got it. So it's basically a way to see who could be at risk of a resurgence of it in the future and not. But what it got everyone sparked was he'd say, it probably because of this day and age they'd have some sort of digital certificate. Something you could just email, a photo on your phone that you could just show people, shit like that. But somehow, people got it in their head that a digital certificate was a microchip, and from that they were like, oh, he's gonna fucking microchip us, put the microchip in the vaccine once you get it, so you get injected with a vaccine, and they'll also put a microchip in you at the same time, and everyone that's chipped to the people that have got the vaccine, and that's gonna how this tell, but then everyone's gonna be chipped, and you can know your location and shit, and they're like, oh, it might not even be the chip, there might be nanites in the bloody vaccine, and they'll get in your blood and stuff, and it's like, what the fuck, this is like someone's been watching too much fucking Marvel movies.
Wow. And
but that's like how people are interpreting a digital certificate, and it's literally like just a certificate from a course, and it's just instead of a piece of paper that's official, and it says it, and it's just he's just saying digital because of this day and age where it's all email and stuff.
That's got to be so hard when you say something like that and it's interpreted so wrong.
Oh, dude, the misinterpretation is amazing. Humans are brilliant at it.
Yeah, and I forget, I mean, I know he's a philanthropist, but I think he spends, I think a lot of that does go, I don't know if he's designing vaccines or if his money goes towards designing vaccines or whether his money goes towards making the vaccines, so that they can actually supply poor countries.
I think
he
funds institutes that makes vaccines.
So, but I mean, in the sense he might be involved in both. So he's not just in discovering vaccines; he's literally just manufacturing them.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's good because I could be wrong at this point, but I think in the world that there are very few companies that are making vaccines anymore. Because it costs it's about $3 billion to get a drug to market. A lot of vaccines, they have a lot of issues, and because people know some are going to stop working after a while, companies aren't really looking for them anymore. So I guess it's good that he's doing that. I guess now it makes more sense to me why people are saying nasty things about him, because, I mean, if you work on vaccines or anything, you're going to automatically have anti-vaxxers and
Yeah. Well,
lots
yeah,
of
it's a lot of
rumors.
flat earthers, anti-vaxxers, tinfoil hat wearers.
Yeah.
The bloody are just kicking up all this shit. As you can, but you know, they're the type that are in these Facebook group echo chambers, just hearing nothing but themselves and people that are also the same wavelength as them.
Yeah, but I guess we're very lucky. Oh, I mean, I say lucky, but we're Bill Gates. Obviously, it's good he's not an anti-vaxxer, but he probably wouldn't have become as successful as he is if he had those sort of beliefs. But I guess we're lucky that he doesn't have beliefs that could cause us problems, because conspiracies people make against him. I mean, let's face it. If someone wanted to be a supervillain and wanted to invent viruses and spread them around the world, or take over entire countries economically, I have no doubts he's the man to do it.
Yeah, well, I guess most of the fucking computer systems in the majority of the world run on fucking Microsoft Windows, so
Yeah.
that's basically having a finger in all those pies.
Oh, and it helps having $100 billion.
Yeah,
And
if probably more than that.
if you have $100 billion, imagine your capacity to actually borrow money.
No, fuck.
So it's just insane the amount of money this guy must have.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
That's not including assets and shit.
Yeah. So other than coronavirus, have you heard any other like rumors about him or?
Rumors about old Billy, not much. That he might be in the original Milky Bar Kid. That's that him or Kevin Rudd. They're in fierce competition.
Original Milky Bar.
Yeah, it
The
could
Milky
be.
Bars are on them, hey?
Yeah, basically, no, they just look like the kid on the front of the packet of the Milky Bars, but you know, well, Ruddy definitely does, but they also kind of like, I don't know, they've got those little glasses, grey hair, kind of like polite man from IT, nerd if you would, not a derogatory term anymore. But, you know, that in like a cowboy outfit, definitely the Milky Bar Kid. I'm not a fan of Milky Bars though, by the way. Nah, milk chocolate, not for me. Go Team Dark Chocolate.
Uh, yeah, Bill Gates and the coronavirus. Man, so I think you were telling me something about birds aren't real.
Oh, yes.
I suppose he has anything to do with that.
Well,
Bird flu.
maybe if the birds run on Microsoft Windows, then perhaps that is Bill Gates' newest and brightest little scheme to get everyone. Because he's always out to get everyone, apparently. I don't know why. He's just, I don't know, he's just the most innocent little, like, looking guy. But everyone's just like, evil. He is in the Legion of Doom.
He looks like he could be Tony Hawk's father.
Oh yeah, I see it.
But then he's not that old. So he would have had Tony when he was pretty young.
Yeah, you know, he could have been a bit of a stud back in the day in
Here's
high
a rumor.
school.
He had Tony Hawk, but he was ashamed
Tony
of
Hawk?
because Tony can't program software.
He had Tony Hawk.
Yeah, Tony Hawk's
The pro skater.
yeah.
Is that why Tony Hawk Underground's so good?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That's
Are
his
they
son, man. He's
remastering that?
deeply ashamed. Deeply ashamed.
Damn, he had to change his last name and everything.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I don't think anyone's real last name is Hawk.
Nah, you'd be pretty lucky if it is. Well, fuck. Is it more likely than someone's last name being Gates?
It's true, the Hawk's out of the gate.
Yeah, fuck. Mind blown. Well, I'll blow up some brains. Yes, birds quite possibly aren't real. It's all a scam. It's all fake. It's actually government robots. Now, you can just look this up. It's everywhere. I don't know how you still think birds are real, honestly. But yeah, birds are basically robots that just spy on everyone all time through the daytime. And when you don't see them, that's because they're either getting their, footage changed, uploaded, batteries changed, memory cards changed, or they're, recharging at night from, lunar rays bounced off the sun.
Well, then, what are those people in like TV shows like Naked and Afraid, all those survival programs, and Alone? What the fuck are they eating?
Dude, honestly. No, they're not eating birds. They're eating like fish and
They
shit.
eat birds.
Really?
They eat birds.
Like on Survivor.
Not Survivor.
No.
Not Survivor.
They're not just going
They're not
out
really
and
surviving.
snapping a
No,
flamingo's
like
neck.
shows like Alone they are, and the coolest way to hunt.
Alone?
Yeah, it's a good show. They have to live in the wilderness alone for a while, and
I did that.
they just throw a rock at a bird. That's how you hunt. Like, it sounds silly, but you just get good at throwing rocks, and you throw a rock at the bird, and the bird dies.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Birds
And they eat
are
the bird.
actually quite fragile because they actually have hollow bones. Yeah, all birds' bones are basically hollow. They've got like kind of like a meshy string in it, but it hasn't got like a solid just chunk of marrow like all our bones do, and that's what really helps them to fly, is because they've got these hollow bones. And then some birds also have like a air sac in them, so they can breathe at greater heights.
Okay.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. All the made up facts about these robots that everyone believes these days that came from dinosaurs. Fucking dinosaurs. You watch Jurassic Park and you now think dinosaurs and fucking birds.
That's
Jesus.
crazy.
No. But yeah, so watch out for birds. Owls are the night watchmen of the bird era, and the rest of the birds are recharging on roofs and whatnot. But if you see an owl that is, that's kind of specifically been sent to you, the rest are kind of just overall, general drones, where owls are kind of like the Black Ops department. They're sent for specific missions. So if you've got an owl following you around, watch out.
I know you hear these stories about Bill Gates, but like a lot of the rumors have got to be pretty hard. Like, how do you make someone sound bad when you look at the donations? And I think recently they gave like $500 million to like the Global Fund or whatever to fight against HIV, but I understand, like, because you got to look deeper and go, well, what do they mean by fighting against it? Is this something that they just use to control the country, or they basically sell them condoms, but so some company's making money along the way? It's like, well, no. Most of the time when you look at Bill Gates, he'll be funding the end of it where, like, I believe this one's to stop the transmission, but not in the sense of condoms, like I just said. Like, so they'll actually give people like pills or like
I don't
vaccine.
think you can get coronavirus by fucking.
No.
So the condom's probably not the way to go. He'd probably microchip them.
It's not going to be the corona, but I mean, if he's working on things like AIDS and stuff as well, I don't know who else is donating such large funds to organizations.
If he made condoms, though, they'd probably be like, there's a microchip in them, and then it goes up your dick hole as you try and put it on. There'd be shit like that.
Weird story I heard about, like, another rich guy, but not nearly as rich. Richard Branson, the founder of, like, Virgin Australian stuff. Okay, so his company's called Virgin, but his first business was a condom company. And, the condoms, a few of them went faulty. So he's still been paying for a few kids, like, to go through university and all this other stuff. Yeah, and that was like his first business. But he laughs about it, obviously now, because he's moved on and done like a lot of other things. But I thought that was hilarious. Like, that's probably how he got his company name.
Fuck.
Virgin Australia.
There you go. Well, I got conspiracy theory about the Bill Gates conspiracy theories.
Ooh.
That they're actually made by competitors Apple and Linux. Probably not Linux though. They really haven't got much resources. Sorry, Linux users. I know it's more user friendly or something, but whatever.
Yeah. Oh no! Don't come after us, Linux.
Fuck. Here we go. Fucking hell. Now we got the Linux boys on us. They're the real IT nerds. If you getting a computer built, he better be using Linux. If you see a Mac, turn right around.
Okay, I'm getting a head shake from the shaman that I might have gone too far, and yeah, thumbs up to Linux. You guys are all right with us.
I'm the ones done picking on them. They're alright. They're a bunch of good lads. They can take a hit.
So you think they started these rumors?
Well,
about
probably
him?
more Apple, I reckon. They would have more to gain than anything.
They do.
Even
They seem like a cult.
well, yeah, fucking oath. They are a bit culty. Have you ever fucking seen like an Apple user? They buy everything. They don't care if it is an inferior product. As long as it's the Apple brand, they will buy it.
Yeah.
They don't care how much more it is either. It is worth it to them because it's Apple. That is a fucking either A, extremely good brand loyalty, holy shit, or B, a cult.
And they've been around for a long time. Like they battled with IBM back in the 90s,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they lost because they tried doing the same
Yeah,
thing
well,
back
look,
then, where
yeah.
you buy one Apple
There you
product,
go. Motive.
have to keep going down the road of buying more Apple products.
Yeah.
So all this time, you think maybe Apple's sitting back there, they're making up these lies about Bill Gates that he's giving people corona and he's buying this, when really he's just trying to cure AIDS and fix all these other problems, and he doesn't have time to make up lies about his competitors. 'Cause
Yeah.
in his head, he's probably like, I don't have any competitors.
Yeah, well, yeah, not ever since he fucking retired the Zoom. Oof, that was a bit of a rough. He tried to do an MP3 to compete against the iPod.
Oh.
It basically never, yeah.
yeah,
No
you
one's
didn't
heard
hear
of it.
about
Yeah,
it.
that's why. No, well, there you go, everyone. There's something called the Zoom used to exist, and Bill Gates made that to compete against Apple, and they kicked his ass. But that's like the only time they won. I'm still pretty sure they're sour enough over the whole operating system debacle that they'll be making up conspiracy theories about the old Billy.
Yeah. I just
Billy G!
I just looked him up in conspiracy theories and went, the internet is just rife with them, full of the COVID-19 and what he's done, which makes me wonder then, because I've never looked up rumours about him, but have saying these rumours actually removed from the online searches all the other rumours that have been made up over the years. And I got to tell you, I've never read bad stuff about him in the papers or things like this. My entire source of information on dodgy things he's done has come from the really weird people that I've had to meet and listen to, and like the anti-vaxxers and the vegans and the people who they have these things, and I go, but why do you hate him? And they'll give you a solid reason. I mean, if what they're saying is true and you know whatever they're saying is not true, it's usually insanity. Like I could just make up a story right now. Well, Bill Gates is the reason that 87% of rainforests in the world have been chopped down because they need them for computer parts or so that he can run his weird science programs. And you're like, where did you hear that? And they'll have heard it from some weirder person at some weird little LSD party in a rainforest. and at some point when you go back, you go, well, this didn't come from fact at all. None of this came from any sort of fact. I'm not saying I like Bill Gates. There's probably a lot of views he has on things that I would disagree with. But, and again, I don't know, if he's spending money on things like actually reducing the transmission of AIDS, or that's where the money should all be spent. It shouldn't be spent on, I mean, people are going to hate this, but it shouldn't be spent on making everyone live longer. You should just spend the money on making sure this doesn't happen in the future. People will live their lives out like they are now, and people in the future no one will have it. It'll just be gone. And that's what they could do by reducing the transmission of it. So, and I mean, it's a horrible virus. And if they can cure it, it can be used to cure a lot of other diseases. So.
I just want to circle back to what you said about looking up stuff about Bill Gates and that you can't really find anything. But is that because you're trying to use a Microsoft computer? And maybe it's programmed to not allow you to, because it's like you are searching on Google, But what does Google run their stuff on?
Okay, that's
You
true.
know.
Okay, I typed in Bill Gates.
You're looking in the box, but what's that box outside that box?
I typed in Bill Gates,
Microsoft.
and I started to type in conspiracy, and it did not auto-find that word for me. I had to type the whole thing out, and sometimes you can just type. Everyone knows it. You can just type like a couple of letters into Google, and it just goes, "Hey, were you looking for like Logan Paul wants you to buy his stuff?" Do you just need the LO? And there it is. But I'm typing Bill Gates, conspiracies. I had to type the whole thing out.
It's like, nah, not going to help you, champ.
That's
Don't
a
know
very
what you're
good
talking
point.
about.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, so you never know.
Oh, this is how it starts.
Don't put your tinfoil hats on just yet, but have them close by. All right, people. That looks like that's all the time we got this week. We'll be catching you next week with a new topic to roast in that bowl. But until later, we're going to head out, get our munch on, and basically have a good time. So you do the same.
Blitzfreak!
And the Packer is out.